What's up, people? Come on in here to Conversations with Cornelius. I'm one of your hosts and the only host today. Hey, I was late this morning. I had to get ready for some things that are taking place and that will be transpiring in the new year. I'm excited about it. I'm elated about it. I'm overjoyed about it. So as you're coming in, I'm just grateful that you have taking the time out to spend this time with me in your commute going home on this Friday. I'm pulling up some other things. I hope y'all can hear me loud and clear. So let me do this to make sure that I am being heard loud and clear. What's up, people? What's up? What's up? What's up? I guess not. Let's see. Hey, can y'all hear me? I don't know what's going on with this. Can y'all hear me loud and clear? So, was on a live the other day doing some different things with some people, sharing what I like to share. Hey, Brandy! What's up? Listen, Brandy. An empty wagon makes a lot of noise. Heard that all my life, Toya. Good Happy New Year to you and Brandy. Thank you, Brandy. Stay on YouTube, Brandy. I really appreciate that. Stay over there. Toya. Good. An empty wagon makes a lot of noise. I don't know why this ain't doing what I wanted to do. Oh, it's connected to something else. Listen, in order to be, in order to master your emotions in 2025, Toya, Brandy, make sure you're not an empty wagon. Yes, make sure, ma'am and sir, you're not an empty wagon. You do not need to become the empty wagon. And this is what I can tell you. Empty wagons make a lot of noise because they need to be loaded. They need to be loaded down. They need to be loaded down to balance out the sound. And we looked at 24 branding and we didn't think correctly about some of the things and trials and tribulations that we faced in 2024. But I learned now that guess what? Every trial and tribulation that I learned in 2024, everything that I have gone through balanced me out. Somebody shout balance. Toya, shout balance today. Toya, shout balance. Do me a favor, Toya. Since you on here, Toya, hit at highlights and at followers. Shout balance because I want to be balanced in 2025. And 2025 has to become a year of balance for me. And so, therefore, I'm going to balance my silence with my statements. I'm going to balance my crowd with my confidentiality. Yes, need to be more confidential. Everybody doesn't need to know the next move in your life and how you're going to move, how you're going to make the move, and how you're going to manage the move. Everybody don't need to know that. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Got to be more confidential. Got to be, you can't invite everybody in. Everybody is, listen, Kenneth Langford said it. Just because you rolling with me don't mean you going my way. Just because you're rolling with me doesn't mean you are going my way. Therefore, I need to balance. Then I need to learn to be silent. I need to learn. Yes. I need to be solo. Then I need to be silent. Joseph, biblical character. We love Joseph for everything he stands for, stood for, will stand for, has stood for in the past. Joseph spoke truth. Joseph spoke truth to power. But Joseph, I have to light my candle. As you speaking truth, I'll put this right here. As you're speaking truth to power. I like that. Yeah. As you're speaking truth and as you're speaking truth to power, Joseph, make sure the people that you're speaking truth to power is ready to handle the truth and the power in which you speak. Because I've learned you might know the truth, you might have the truth, you might speak truth to power, but there are a certain group of people that you're speaking truth they are not ready to accept the truth and the power in which you speak. Therefore, you might have to do some things a little bit more silently. It might have to be with more walk than words this season. You have to walk this thing out in front of them without saying anything. So I'm learning to be more solo. Yes, I am. I'm learning to be more solo. Let me do this. I got to do this. I'm learning to be, I got to be a little bit more silent too. Yeah, but Brandy, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Brandy, but it is what it is. Like Bluetooth. Let me cut this off. Bluetooth. Yeah. I got to be more silent. I got to walk in wisdom. And the word says walk in wisdom and walk circumspectively. Walk in love, walk in light, like walk in wisdom. That this is my walk now is a wisdom walk. Toya, it's a wisdom walk. And thank you again, Brandy, for being on YouTube. Thank you. It's a wisdom walk. So remember, the empty wagon makes more noise because the weight hadn't been balanced. And sometimes there's a noise coming from our life because it's an indicator that we're out of balance. Does that make any sense? We're out of balance. We're out of balance. And I want to be in more balance. I want to be balanced now. In front of them. I want to be balanced. Yeah. I want to be balanced. Like for real, I need the balance. I need the balance. Today, before we get into the other content, Yolanda and I did our Fun Friday show. A snippet of it is on the Yolanda and Cornelius show podcast channel on Facebook. The rest of it, you need to go to the actual podcast. So I'm going to tell y'all, go to the podcast. Happy New Year, sir. What's good? Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Glad to see you. I need you to go to the podcast and hear Apple, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Podcast Addict, Yahweh Saving, Castbox, Deezer. I think it's Podchaser. Go listen to the podcast. So, Daniel, as you're coming on, you just came on. We're talking about being solo and being silent. This year, everybody doesn't need to know what's going to happen for you, in you, and with you as relates to your walk with God. This year, be a little bit more solo. And it's okay. It's okay, Daniel. It's okay because we've learned that the empty wagon makes a lot of noise. And there's a lot of noise being made because in that wagon because there the weight needs to be balanced and shifted. And I'm not talking Brandy and Daniel so much for the WEIGHT, but I'm talking about the WAIT. The weight has to be shifted. And then for the WEIGHT, Brandy, we have to lay that aside so we can shift the WAIT. If I don't never learn how to lay aside the WE, I'll never understand the shift of the WA. Is that a word for somebody? If I do not understand the WE and lay that aside, I can never understand and appreciate the WA. So I'm grateful for the WAs. I'm grateful for the weight that has shifted, and my weight has shifted, and I'm more concerned about the WA than the WE because I'm walking silently. And I'm not trying to secure somebody else's load. That's a whole word for me. Daniel, I know we're leaders. Brandy, I know we're leaders, but we don't have to secure everybody's load. Everybody's load doesn't have to be secured by us. So this season, I'm not going to try to secure everybody's load. I'm not going to do that. Nah. Just because you're excited, just because you listen, 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 listen. It's just blessing y'all. It's blessing me. Here's what's funny. When you were, when I had a sense of urgency about it, it was not a priority. But now that you have a sense of urgency about it, it has become priority. Come on, make that make sense. Nah. So I'm landing my plane. I'll deal with some more content tomorrow. This year for Conversations with Cornelius, I'm changing the name, branding it and everything. We're going to talk about our mindset, our motivation, what's happening in the mainstream, and money. Yeah, we got to talk about that, Brandon. We have to. And you're not going to secure the people's load this year. Who you listen, you can't carry and cast at the same time, and you can't carry and care at the same time. I can care, but I might have to cast. I can carry, but at some point I have to cast. So I'm learning now how to cast and not so much get caught up in carrying and carrying. So hey, it's Conversation with Cornelius. Remember this: the empty wagon makes a lot of noise. Let's not live 25 empty. Peace and blessings, y'all. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Make sure you go back to the Yolanda and Cornelius show page. Make sure you go to Apple, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and all the other podcast uh, places and listen to the podcast. Peace.